What if all the water on Earth evaporated in 1 second? Let's start with the obvious. Earth is called the blue planet for a reason. About 70% of its surface is covered by water. And if you count everything, oceans, lakes, rivers, glaciers, groundwater, it adds up to about 1.4 billion cubic kilometers. That's a lot of water. But imagine a cosmic prank. Every single molecule of H2O instantly turns into vapor and vanishes into the air. What happens next? The first second would be the weirdest in human history. Every ocean, lake, and riverbed would suddenly appear, bone dry. Entire coastlines would collapse as the water holding sand and silt in place disappeared. Ships and submarines would crash down onto the ocean floor like abandoned toys. Wales would experience the worst case of stranded beach vacation in history. Niagara Falls? Just a sad cliff with nothing falling off it. And fish? Well, the world's seafood industry would suddenly have a huge surplus, though it wouldn't last long. But here's where things get dangerous. All that water didn't just disappear into space, it turned into vapor. And when I say turned into vapor, I mean the atmosphere suddenly got a lot thicker. Instantly, Earth's air pressure would skyrocket. Imagine trying to breathe in an atmosphere that's now several times denser than what we're used to. The air would feel heavy, hot, and wet, like living inside a steam room, except the steam room is the entire planet. And then comes the heat. Water has always been Earth's coolant. Oceans absorb sunlight, circulate heat around the globe, and regulate temperature. Take them away, and the planet's climate system goes haywire. Within hours, land masses would heat up dramatically. The continents would bake in direct sunlight without the moderating effect of oceans. Deserts would expand instantly, swallowing entire ecosystems. But what about the atmosphere filled with water vapor? That's basically turning Earth into a pressure cooker. Water vapor is a greenhouse gas, actually, the most powerful one. With the sky suddenly packed with it, the greenhouse effect would go into overdrive. Temperatures would climb so fast, it would make global warming look like a gentle spring breeze. Within days, the surface could become unbearably hot, boiling away any leftover groundwater, sweat, or tears from the people still alive to notice. Of course, it wouldn't be just heat. Without oceans, rainfall stops. The water cycle, the system that drives weather, agriculture, and ecosystems, would collapse. Rivers wouldn't flow. Crops wouldn't grow. Animals and humans would run out of drinkable water in a matter of hours. Forget wars over oil. This would be instant global wars over a bottle of spring water. Spoiler alert, no one wins. And if you think maybe we'd survive on bottled water reserves, sorry. Humanity consumes about 4 trillion cubic meters of water a year. The total bottled water supply? Not even close. Entire cities would depopulate in days. Plants and animals would begin dying off almost immediately. Civilization wouldn't collapse slowly. It would faceplant straight into extinction territory. Meanwhile, Earth itself would start looking a lot like Mars. The ocean floors, once hidden, would stretch across the globe like giant scars. The continents would crack as underground aquifers boiled off. And with no water to lubricate tectonic plates, earthquakes could become more violent. Volcanoes might even erupt more often, since the lack of pressure from oceans would destabilize magma systems. Congratulations! The planet is now not only thirsty, but also angry. And the atmosphere? It can't hold all that vapor forever. Eventually, most of it would escape into space, stripped away by solar wind. Without water, Earth would lose one of its protective shields. Over thousands of years, the planet would become dry, barren, and hostile. An arid rock orbiting the Sun, eerily resembling its unlucky neighbor Venus. The only real difference would be that Venus started hot and stayed hot, while Earth threw a 1-second water party before burning out. But let's end on a slightly more optimistic note. Luckily, this nightmare scenario is physically impossible. Evaporating all the water on Earth in a second would require more energy than the Sun produces in millions of years. So unless some intergalactic trickster with a really big hairdryer shows up, Earth's water supply is safe. Which means you can still enjoy your showers, your coffee, and your occasional cannonball into the pool, without worrying about your planet turning into a giant steam bath. So the next time you see the ocean, maybe give it a little nod of appreciation. It's the only reason our world isn't already a desert with a sauna problem.